No. It's in the box.
What the fuck?
I'm sorry. That's a new box we can use.
This pink box?
Yes, please.
You can bring it out.
Yeah, you
just bring it out.
Thank you, sir. You're the best.
Oh, do you need a ball opener?
No, it's okay. This.
What do I? Okay.
They're twists.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh.
Why not?
I'm not gonna lie to you guys.
Why the fuck not?
On a completely independent tangent, I miss that place.
Me too.
Okay, that place still
What place?
exists. Why not?
Why not cafe?
Yeah.
Like the comedy show there?
No, the comedy show doesn't exist. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That place still exists, and everyone should go there when it's up and running and safe to do so.
50% capacity. Come on, bitches.
No, just whatever. That place is cool, and it's in Edmonton, and it's I was having a good time at that place, and the comedy show was just so small and fuck you, and like usually, like because it was such a small venue, it was a very tight room.
Yeah.
Like you were almost guaranteed to have a good set, or at least a set that people would listen to while you were there.
As long as people listen to what you have to say.
Right. I mean, like that's usually a hurdle that we have to overcome as comics.
It's true.
It's like sometimes
Like,
people
getting
don't
people to
give a
listen.
fuck about it.
Oh.
Like I've been to shows where definitely people care more about the chicken wings than the comedy
Those
show.
are usually open mics.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I truly believe that those things are, like, just personally, those things are meant to be in comedy.
Yeah, I agree, and that's what makes it a comedy experience, and that's why Zoom comedy
That's totally
shows don't
fine.
work.
That is not my. That's not my preference.
Yeah, but I'm also a hypocrite because if I'm doing a video, I care so much of how it does and like the views and like the comments and like I want it to do really, really well. But at the same time, if I go for a set, for some reason it's flipped. So I'm actually just learning, and I think it's entitlement. For some reason, I think my stuff.
You're allowed to bomb.
Yeah.
Even on the internet.
And like that's the thing, I didn't realize. I was actually thinking about this in the shower. I was like, what? Because like usually at night I feel pretty like empty and just like really, really down about shit. Because like after I'm editing and after I'm doing all this like work and stuff,
I just put in a shit ton of effort.
I sit down. I'm like nothing's moving.
You have no. I'm totally like reading into this, but there's no like tangible result.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. No.
Like when you're on stage, you say something, and then there's a response.
And maybe
Yeah.
that's why
it's right there.
And that's why I think I enjoy if people aren't listening because that's still a result.
Yeah.
I can still.
You're still in it. You're
I
still
can
there.
still try to get them to listen. You know what I mean? It's a new thing I can do.
Yeah.
And then I can see that afterwards. You know what I mean? Of how I'm doing. But then like it's just so hard to be on all the like for this project. I'm on like 6 subreddits, posting on them. I'm on like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm doing all the
We're
stuff.
on YouTube. Like it's on the internet in multiple forms.
And you're pushing it.
And then like I'm on the couch and everything just like hasn't moved yet. I'm like, oh, that's so like. But then this morning I was like, whoa, like why don't I feel this way during stand-up comedy? Because I was telling myself, I'm like, those hecklers and those people not listening, it's part of the thing.
Yeah.
And then I realized,
Yeah,
like, oh,
it's as much as we hate it, and then it's not our
part
favorite.
of the experience.
It's not our favorite
Yeah,
part.
exactly.
And that's why it's not the
It is.
same.
And then I realized, I'm like, oh, I'm entitled. Like for some reason, I feel that I need that this video is better than what? Like it isn't. Like who am I? Blah blah blah. And like
I mean that's true.
I realized this in the hospital too, but then it kind of clicked. You know what I mean? Like it was like okay, like because like when I was in the hospital, I realized I was like I need to enjoy the process of things. Like it's fine if things are like going idle.
Yeah.
But then like that really clicked for me because like I had like a place where I felt that, and then I had a place where I haven't felt that, and like now it's just all coming together.
Also,
I was in the hospital.
Also, I feel like we're at the point of like for when we're creating content. Most of our audience, or a high percentage of our audience, already knows who we are, and that's the only reason why they're watching. Like that's the stage that we're at right now. For sure. Like I know that I don't have that much reach. People really only watch my stuff either like because they know me like directly or like tangentially through comedy.
If you opened an OnlyFans, they'd watch your stuff because they were interested in your nudes.
Yeah. Yeah, I could do that. But like that's that's just the level that I've kind of like I have to realize that that's the level that I'm at. I'm at the screaming into the void level of YouTube and shit like that.
Yeah, that's me on Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's a lot of people on Twitter. But that's a lot of people on Twitter that they don't think that they're in that realm.
Yeah.
They think they're in the realm with a following, and guess what? You don't have a following yet.
I love that the only person I talk to on Twitter is Sausha.
I hate to be the bringer of bad news.
Me and Sausha have like full conversations on Twitter.
Good. That's content. That's fucking great.
I've decided I'm gonna get another cat, and I'm gonna name it Borts. Boots and Borts, and it's gonna be you. You're gonna be my cat.
That's so
That's a tweet I tweeted.
That's
Boots
so
and Borts.
Boots and Borts.
Borts sounds like a cute name.
Borts.
No, Borts sounds like a cute thing for like an abortion.
Oh my god! I just had cute little aborts this weekend.
Is that a quick abort?
I just had a quick abort, so I really had to get it out of the way. It was really like causing me morning sickness.
Call me some real sads.
I thought I had the flu. It was an abortion.
That's I had a bit for a while. It was like I don't know if I'm sick or if I'm pregnant, but either way, I'm getting rid of it.
That's really funny. How come I've
When
never
you-
heard that?
I worded it properly today for the first time ever.
That's exactly how you should tell that joke.
Okay, cool.
That's exactly how you should tell that
Okay,
joke.
cool.
Yeah.
Good
That's
thing we got it
really
recorded.
That's good.
I'm happy you guys liked it.
No, it's funny. It's
Yeah.
funny.
No, that's really because the punchline is so quick.
Do you guys still write jokes?
Like I don't know if I'm pregnant
trying.
or if I'm just had the flu, but either way, I'm getting rid of it. It's so good. Yeah, I've still been writing like premises and stuff.
I've
The
been
only thing,
ranting a lot.
yeah, the only thing that I've been struggling with is because I've gotten into the habit, and this was like years, I've been doing it for years. I've gotten into the habit of like writing jokes on stage. So I'll have the premise,
Same.
I'll have the idea, and I'll be like, okay, this is funny, and I can maybe go in like 6 different directions.
Yeah.
So what I'll do is I'll just say my thoughts on stage, and then depending on what happens,
See
I'll
where I go.
I'll go in different directions, and then I'll try that joke for months and go different ways with it, and then once I figure it out, I'm like, okay, that's what that joke is supposed to sound like.
100%.
Now I don't have that outlet. It's like I can't refine things on stage because there's no stage to refine things on. I'm sorry, I know there's Zoom shows and shit like that.
You could
but I'm
do
not
Twitter.
and that's all different sort of like ways to do it.
But you want to do your way, like you.
Unfortunately, yeah, I'm in tune to how I do it on
That's
stage.
fine.
That's the only way
Yeah.
I want to do it. So like
I like doing that on stage.
I love that part. I love that aspect of it.
Like, cause I like it's almost like a like you don't necessarily know what's gonna come naturally almost.
I don't.
And like what's gonna come out first, and so sometimes it's like really great. You're like, oh wow, that works for like the better, and then sometimes it's like, wow, that was so heinous. Hopefully, I'll never say that again.
But then you say it again.
But then
like-
you say it again and again and again.
But that's also the thing is like that's the beauty of like telling jokes and like comedy and stuff like that is that you're allowed to be wrong, and as long as you're like, oh hey, like as long as that registers to you,
Trust.
then you can use it to get better.
And like the next time you go on stage, you kind of like take what you learned the last time and implemented that. Like
yeah,
it is a learning experience, like that. But you're on your own pace and you're on your own. Like this is all a individual kind of art form in the way where no one can tell you what you can say that'll make you 100% funny every time.
yes.
Yeah.
Everything is permitted, nothing is forbidden.
Yeah.
That sounds like something that someone has said before.
But you know what though? That's so
Take it.
like it's so in a way, and this happened like the other day with this woman I wanted to beat up so badly.
This
Like,
woman.
I just she called herself a comedian. She kept on like coming up to me and like being like a comedian and like
Okay,
I
well,
am
like, she's
not.
not ever done comedy.
No,
It's just,
she's never gone on
she's
stage.
using our
and
word.
done 5 minutes, but
It's
she's
our
a
word.
comical person because she likes to make awkward movements with her body.
Oh, okay.
So she's a comedian.
So she's like a mime.
No, she's like a fucking idiot. It's just the same thing. She's awkward.
It's a mime.
She's a mime. But she talks.
Oh, so she's a bad mime.
And she doesn't stop talking. It's just and then it goes into the way where it's like just because you find humor in your own everyday life, and that's how you cope. That's great. That's like lovely. I love that for you. Professional.
Saved it.
I'm a professional. You know how many beers I spill?
Also, if you guys don't know what Sasha's drinking, this is like alcoholic green tea flavored with ginseng and honey. What the fuck? We should all be drinking this.
Thank you.
Just don't put the brand.
How much sugar is it?
I don't know, but it's like
a lot of sugar.
It's just a beer
It's
tea.
literally just concentrated green tea, honey, green tea flavor, citric acid, ascorbic acid, and ginseng flavor, and vodka, sucrose, water. Babies.
Wow. Yeah, ingredients.
Who's a health queen?
Ingredients, it goes water, vodka, sucrose. So it's water, vodka, sugar.
Concentrated green tea.
And then green tea. But yeah, this is
you didn't taste the vodka. Yeah. It was just, I forget where I was going.
You were talking about this lady.
You were talking about this lady.
It's like
fight.
Well, no, but there was something that we were talking about.
Because she's like, I'm a comedian.
Oh yes, and then like later in the evening, she got like offended almost and like or defensive at some of the jokes we were making, and that's fine. But then the reason she didn't bring valid reasons as to why she was offended. Like I asked her, I was like, why are you offended? Not even like it wasn't even like anything that could have like it was more like an offhanded like comment.
Oh, okay, perfect. Like a throwaway joke.
Like a throwaway joke. Like not even.
I love.
I can't even remember what it was about, but it was like, and then she was like, "Well, you shouldn't like say something like that." I imagine it was probably like me and my partner talking about like maybe my indigenous identity or something. Like I'm not too sure. And then she started being like, "Oh, you can't like." You shouldn't say stuff like that. Like, and also a big thing with her was that there's a child around. There's a child around. Like maybe we should say
why was there a? Why were you partying with a child?
She was 13 and she was brought by her mother. And like, so like the person who wasn't even her parent was kind of being like, oh well, maybe we should save this conversation for like when the child isn't around. And
after
like,
11 p.m.
Like, and I'm like. Literally, I'm pretty sure that she's heard worse shit. Like, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Like, I've been on the internet at 13. I'm pretty sure I know what a pedophile is at 13. Like, I knew what it was at 10. You know? You be aware. Like, she's a smart girl. She knows. Like, and it was so frustrating to constantly be told, like, I'm a mother, and while my child's not here, and she's with her father because I need a break. I know how to handle a child more than you do, and like I'm a little more experienced in life because you have a child, because I have a child and you don't, kind of thing. Like, if anything, I feel like I'm smarter because I don't have a child in my life. I cannot go that route and be comfortable or financially stable or. Like, that is not for me. And I'm not going to go that route and hold it over the heads of other people.
Yeah, it's weird that she's using her kid as a scapegoat. That's bad.
And her kid wasn't even there. Her kid was at her father's house because she needed a break.
Sorry.
No, but that's...
It's strange that she's doing it, but totally
and it's strange that she's doing it to another woman's child, too.
Yeah.
And feeling like... If this is your break and you want to have a break from your child that you chose to have and that's the life you chose to have because there's lots of ways you don't need to have that. You can have a life without a child. It's possible. You don't need to martyr yourself for anybody. It's not necessary. No one is going to take you seriously, except for the government when they give you check after check after check after check. But that's besides the point.
Oh,
like it's just
this is like legitimately broken.
Like when I am a 24-year-old person and this person is, let's say, 29, and their entire life since they were 21 has been about raising a child. They don't know what it's like to be me. Because they only know what it's like to raise another person. Yeah. And so their whole experience is based off them providing for another person, which is great. Wonderful. Love that for you. So great. Not many people can like handle providing for their children. So like that's a lot. But like I didn't choose to do that. And I chose not to do that for a reason. And if you look down on me for not choosing to effectively ruin my life, to provide for a person who doesn't need to be here, then like I don't understand how can you expect me to afford you the human decency of expecting you to be an intelligent person without giving me the same decency because I didn't choose to have a child.
Yeah. Like you want to be treated like the same as
you're no smarter than me just because you have a child. And that's the most frustrating part is that there's so many young parents out there who think that they know some other level of intelligence or are on some other level because they have a child. And it's like, in reality, I could say I think you're hindering yourself because you're choosing to give everything you've learned in your short amount, and I'm talking specifically about young parents. Like you're dedicating everything you've learned on your short amount of time on this planet without even fully acknowledging the experience that you may have, and then you're choosing to give that to a person and you brought that person in because you were in a relationship you thought that was the best, or maybe you couldn't handle being alone, or maybe because you thought you needed love,
something that
or maybe
fucking happened.
But the other thing is, I do not agree with the fact that parents who are like, I got pregnant and then all of it, I had to be a mom, I had to, because you don't have to be. You really don't. You really fucking don't. If you are not ready to bring a child into this world, financially, responsibly, emotionally, whatever the fuck reasons you think you have to bring a child into this world, if you're not ready, then that's nothing but selfish. And you're bringing a child into this world to make you feel like you're better. Because that is your...
Maybe.
No, you know what? Maybe, yeah. But I think, every single interaction I've had with, and I'm talking about specific types of people. I'm not talking about every mother with a child.
No, of course.
I have a sister with children, and she's never made me feel less than for not having children because I'm not.
Of course, you're speaking with generalities, but that doesn't take away from the fact that you're still talking about real instances. But it's not there are of course exceptions.
There are always exceptions.
We're trying to get past that point.
There are always exceptions, but I'm past the point of trying to defend those exceptions.
Well, no,
because if you know you're an exception, you know you're an exception. And that's great for you. But I'm talking about the people who don't necessarily realize or recognize that their behavior and what they're choosing...
But there's a lot of people who can't bring themselves to get an abortion.
That's fine. But, you need to...
You just want their attitude to change.
And not even to change. Just to be... I respect any choice that any person chooses to make. Whether that be you can't bring yourself to have an abortion, you can't bring yourself to have the baby, vice versa. Whatever the fuck happens in your life, that's fine. That's your life. That's your experience. But do not come to me as another person in your life and look down upon me because I did not go through the same experiences that you did. I am no less of a woman because I do not have children. I am no less of a person because I did not choose to martyr myself for an unnecessary reason.
Yeah, your choices do not give you permission to speak about other people's lives. And
I never would.
The you in that sentence is general.
And the thing with I've always had such a hard time speaking on younger parents and whatnot because I come from, my mom was 19 when she had me. And it's not. And my dad was even younger. So I come from.
Wait, your dad was younger than your mom?
Yeah, he was 2 years younger. And then so I come from that kind of upbringing where it was a struggle, and they weren't ready for the kind of commitment that they made. And they were young people. They were growing up raising a child, as I was growing up being raised by children. It was.
Yeah.
And it's just, if you're not capable. And you think that that's going to make you capable, I think that you need to reevaluate your decisions. Because having that thing, it's just the same of getting getting an animal and you think that that's going to teach you responsibility is really not.
Yeah.
If you don't have the basic kind of respect for other beings that you realize that you need to take care of.
Yeah. If you really want to test yourself like that, get a fish.
Get a fish.
Yeah.
Or... why?
We've established that no one cares about
fish.
Into
this world that doesn't understand anything but you, and they're only going to understand anything that you've taught them as the truth, and they're going to take that into their adulthood. And then whether you're ready or not, and whether you know what you're talking about or not, they're going to see that as truth.
Yeah, and that person should definitely be a fish.
Oh, yeah. They might as well be a fucking fish. Fucking idiot. It's just so frustrating to see sometimes. And then it's and then to go ahead and ask, okay, I'm almost done. To
wrap that shit up.
No, to demand almost human decency from others while you're not even giving them the same kind of respect is atrocious in my eyes.
Yeah.
Because it's
that's
you can't
hypocrisy.
even. It is hypocrisy, and it's also like for instance, like being worried about children in everyday conversation and like like monitoring what you see around them. How else are children supposed to learn?
Think of the
people they trust. And no, but like to think, would you rather them go and learn about pedophiles on the internet, or would you rather go and learn about pedophiles from people they trust and love and have actual?
Yeah, you should be having these conversations when they're young and
and like to teach it so you can like warn them and like being naive is so important. And it's an important part about being a child and growing up and whatnot. But like, there comes a certain point where you need to warn your children that there are forces outside of anybody's control that can come into their lives. And I keep on so passionate.
That's broken.
But I've caught it every time. But like, it's just it's so annoying when I see that in real life, and I see that to people I care about and to people that I know should know better. And like, why do I have to know better at 24 years old when you're 34 and you've been given chance after chance after chance to improve yourself, and yet you still haven't? Why am I held to a higher standard than you are?
Yeah, reality check. If you're 34, you should know stuff.
You should know something. Or even 30, 20.
You should
25 is when your brain is done developing. That's science, that's facts. I can share that as real scientific facts. I am not done and I know more than you as a grown adult. What the fuck is wrong with you?
If you're 30, you should either know things or know enough that you don't know.
You can coast.
Yeah, exactly. You should be able to admit when you're wrong.
Yeah.
You should.
And another thing with like child development, like I think generally like if I'm not a naive person,
definitely take a drink after that.
Yeah.
That's good.
But
we're all naive.
I'm not a very naive person with like that kind of stuff and like those kind of things, but it's because I learned like the hard way.
Exactly. I learned the fucking hard way.
It wasn't like nice about like
nobody gave me like
I had to learn because it happened to me.
Exactly.
You had to learn.
Yeah, and when I was in compromising situations or whatnot, like situations that weren't ideal, growing like as a young adult, like nobody came and was like, hey, listen, like that's not.
Yeah.
Like everybody was like, let's make her say her mistakes for herself so she can learn. And so if no one came to me and told me I was doing wrong, then and I learned effectively that way. And maybe this is wrong and maybe this isn't fair to treat others this way, but as who I am now and the way I learned, I think there's no room for ignorance, and there's no room for excusing your inability to learn.
It's such an effective way to learn is to go through it
and
yourself.
We're not saying like kids should go through that, but like
I'm saying as an adult, like if you're gonna have children, first of all,
definitely
help them.
Jail the children.
No,
we think that's very effective, but don't do it.
You said that they want to go.
I said it.
But I think you reach a certain age in this. And you reach a certain level of experience, and you've gone through a certain amount of things that you need to realize that there is nobody on this planet who's going to help you through it other than you, in the way that you need it.
No, I think that's very true. Very few people are extending all of their resources, literally 100% of their resources, to the benefit of humankind.
Nobody. Only to themselves.
And that's kind of okay. Yeah, like
you can give resources to others to help them to do what you can to help them, but then there becomes
not everyone
setting
is
the
Jesus.
boundaries. Exactly. You have to set the boundaries that are workable for your own mental well-being.
If I have a kid and like people are swearing, I'm like you don't listen to it, but don't learn it.
Yeah, exactly. Like hey, don't be like those people.
These are bad words. These are bad words, and if you choose to use them, that is your decision.
My mom growing up swore so much, and my whole family, like truckers, they were young. It's fine.
Oh.
I did not swear in front of my family until I was 16 because I in my heart felt like that was disrespectful.
I still feel bad about swearing in front of my family.
Yeah, I try so hard to be more eloquent around them and to be a little more like. And while I'm not necessarily like that IRL,
you want to be.
I want to set a better example for my younger siblings. And sometimes when I'm not around them for a long time, it's hard to get back into that mindset of like censoring yourself. And I do not agree with censoring yourself 100% when it comes to children. There are things that you can talk about that are important, such as predators and such as like Predators are never going on my head, honestly. Like,
sorry, just to add on to your point. It doesn't. Whenever I'm around my family or anything like that, it doesn't feel like I'm censoring myself when I actively am in my own head being like, like, oh, don't say fuck here, don't say that word there, don't say that word. There's just like another word that you can use instead of saying shit.
And maybe when I say censoring, I don't mean necessarily when it comes to swearing.
It doesn't feel like I'm censoring myself. It just feels respectful. Yeah, that's what it feels like in the moment. So like, because I also agree with you in saying that like you shouldn't be censoring yourselves.
No. Especially when it's an opinion and something that you feel strongly about. Definitely.
For the sake of censorship,
especially if it's something
never censor for the
that you
sake
feel
of
like
censorship.
is fragile ears, or even like an
my
older
God,
person
for
who
the
can't
children.
handle your opinion, or for the children.
Yeah.
The children need to hear. I think, as somebody who has been a child and who has grown up around children, I think that they need to hear certain things to trigger certain curiosities that will allow them to grow at their own paces. If they want to ask questions, they'll ask questions. If they're in an environment that they feel comfortable learning in, or feel comfortable, they trust enough, you need to like hone in on that kind. If you're gonna be around children, I think, and invite that kindness into your life, then you need to cater to that, and you need to be able to explain the harshness of this reality to them in such a way that is understandable to them. And you cannot censor yourself, because they're going to learn about it the hard way. They're going to go on the internet. They're going to read fucked up shit. It's going to happen to them. Like
I agree with a lot of what you're saying. No, because like the main thing there is like children, no matter how you break it down, they are people.
Yeah. They're just little people, and they don't understand.
And they absorb way more than adults.
Yeah. For real. And they're so much smarter than people realize, because this is the first time that they're really like interacting with everything. They're in it. And this, you have to think about like experiencing everything for the first time. You're creating those memories, right? And those are the things that you're going to base every other interaction off.
It's kind of like
for the rest of your life.
Possibly.
It's kind of like if we were walking like in like the busy Edmonton, like it's not a big deal for us, but like if a kid were done, it's a totally new fucking
like a whole new world. Like imagine the anxiety. Imagine
like going to a bar is nothing for us. But
imagine going to the bar when we were younger, when that was the first time that we went to
the 5 times you go to a bar.
It's
my God, it's revelations.
It's terrifying almost.
Like
I remember just seeing like the amounts of just like drunk, like pissed drunk, like falling over people. Like
to give context, we live in Alberta.
Oh yeah, that happens a lot.
So there's like
the drinking age is 18 here.
It's not that. It's just like a lot of people drink to cope.
But it's also so young in Alberta. Alberta, I think, is Alberta and Saskatchewan.
I think it's
I think Saskatchewan's 19.
I think it's a good thing that we have a young drinking age.
I think the younger the better.
If you can enroll into the military.
You're like, of course.
The way you said it.
I feel like everyone should start drinking around like 11 or 12.
If you're old enough to enroll in the military and shoot somebody, you're old enough to take a shot of tequila.
I also think that should be 11 or 12.
You know what's fucked up talking about like age and like we're on the top of this, aren't we?
Yeah, no, we're definitely there.
It's just this number. So is 911.
I thought it was weird growing up and like realizing that Shakespeare's like plays and poems.
All of them are 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
But that's weird. That's definitely jarring. But then also it's also jarring to realize that there was a point in history where that was socially acceptable.
Totally fine. Totally fine.
Like,
all the male characters are 36.
Like I get it, but
yeah, like
hey, you're both disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah, we are.
Nasty. Where's your OnlyFans?
Do you wanna why did you apologize mid-sentence?
What?
Just there. Like, I don't know, like 5 minutes ago you were ranting about something.
For what?
And then you just said sorry. I don't know. What the fuck
I apologize
are you apologizing for?
And then I realized that it probably doesn't sound genuine, but I just like genuinely am sorry for taking up
I honestly think that's
Wait, are you apologizing to like the box in general for taking up the space?
Yeah, like who are you apologizing for? Sorry.
Are you apologizing to us?
You never have to apologize.
No, you never have to apologize to us, Sausha.
It's a bad habit. When I was younger, I was in. Funny story. I was in Walmart.
Stop apologizing. For
I was in Walmart with my uncle and my mom, and we were just walking. Just listen. And we were walking, and then this lady.
We should.
No, seriously. I appreciate your support, but I'm sharing a story about.
By the way, we only have this GoPro.
No, but for real.
The GoPro.
We were in Walmart, and then I was like pushing the cart, and I was like 9, and then I was with my uncle and my mom, and we were all shopping together, and then I like almost cut in front of this lady, but actually she cut me off. So like I was like, oh sorry, like a natural reaction that I had, and my uncle was like, you don't need to fucking say sorry to her. And then the lady was like, yeah, she fucking does. Go back on welfare.
Oh,
and then
what?
So yeah.
Yeah.
Now I just say sorry all the time. But I like got rid of it, but then it comes back. It's just like an insecurity thing.
No,
like when I say like a lot or
No, but I think it really is sort of like a knee-jerk reaction. A lot of people do feel obligated to apologize just for no reason.
Why do you swirl it? Sorry.
There's no reason why we swirl it.
No, it's just like
we like bubbles.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why you swirl beer.
Children.
Yeah, I swirl beer because I like bubbles. It doesn't help the flavor. It doesn't help the taste. It doesn't help the longevity
if anything,
of the beer.
it like makes it less carbonated. So
yeah.
To choke down.
If anything, you're wasting how much time you have left on the beer by swirling.
I went to Daddy-O's yesterday, and we ordered howlers. I never knew what a howler was, but it's just like a chug of draft beer. Restaurants and bars are open to 50% capacity, but I'm not too sure.
Yes. I don't know